You went to a small, cozy town with your friends. Unfortunately, all the hotels are booked, so you only have these two accommodation options. Take a closer look at the pictures posted by homeowners and decide which house is safe to stay in. You better choose the right house. Take a look at the left house. See this knife over there? It's levitating. This place is definitely haunted. Two girls go down to a dark basement. The door slams behind their backs. The girls scream. After a storm, the power's out. So one of them switches on the flashlight on her phone. They see 3 doors. Something's moving behind the first one. It's a hungry zombie. A big fire is raging behind the second door, and if the girls open the third door, they'll see exposed live electrical wires. Which door should they choose? They should opt for the third door. Hey, the power's out, and the wires are totally harmless. One lighthouse keeper has been lonely for so long that one day he lost his marbles. When tourists arrived at his lighthouse to marvel at the views, he locked them all inside and made them swallow pills, telling them that some of those pills were harmless and some were poisoned. The tourists had to take the pills. Strangely, all of them ended up in a hospital. What trick did the man use to poison all the tourists? The poison was in the water the lighthouse keeper gave the tourists to help them swallow the pills. Andrew and his friend Kenneth went to the beach. Andrew played volleyball with Gary, a guy they met there. The game ended in a tie, and Andrew ordered a lemonade at a beach bar. After drinking it, he lost consciousness. It turned out Andrew had been poisoned. The police questioned the suspects. Kenneth said the barman had put something in Andrew's drink. The barman claimed that Gary lost the game and wanted to get revenge. Gary said that after the game, he had been swimming in the sea. Who poisoned Andrew? The barman. He lied about Gary losing the game to frame the guy. Now look at this intersection very attentively. Can you figure out what's wrong here? Have you paid attention to the traffic lights? There's the color purple instead of green. Two guys are staring at themselves in the mirror. They both look wealthy, but one of them is actually poor and is just pretending. Which one is it? Write your answer in the comments. A small hint, the mirror seems to be magic. The guy in a blue shirt is actually far from successful. In the mirror, he looks like a rich businessman, but look at his real-life clothes. They're old, and there's even a little hole in his shirt. He must be quite poor. Tim worked on a cruise ship. One day, the captain asked him to go to the hold and get supplies. But as the man was walking down the ladder, it broke, and the man fell to the floor of the hold. He couldn't get out. Sometime later, he discovered there was a hole in the side of the ship. More and more water was getting inside through this hole. How can Tim get out? He can put on one of the life jackets that are in the room and wait for the water to fill the hole. The water will lift him, and he'll be able to push the door open. Students knew they would have an exam on Friday, but their strict professor didn't tell them the exact time. When one guy plucked up the courage to ask about it, he got a weird reply. 11 plus 2 equals 1. Figure out how much 10 plus 6 is. That's the time of the exam. Do you know when the students should meet with their professor? At 4 p.m., 11 o'clock plus 2 hours is 1 p.m. Then 10 o'clock and 6 hours is 4 p.m. Due to a technical issue, two families were given the same seats on a plane flying to France. The airline representative offered one of the families to upgrade to business class, but not for free. Which family is rich enough to pay the price? The family on the left is rich. They have modern suitcases covered with stickers. They have money to travel a lot. The family on the right looks well off, but they have old and worn-out suitcases with scratches. They probably spent all their money on designer clothes and jewelry to show off. These are two sisters, Maria and Hannah. The girls' relatives have found out that one of them has recently won the lottery. Neither of the sisters wants to admit it's her because they suspect that the relatives will want some of the money. But one nosy aunt has managed to sneak a peek at the girls' apartments. Here are the pictures she took. Which of the sisters is now rich? Maria. High heels, a fancy dress, and a fridge filled to the brim. She looks like someone who's finally managed to get their hands on big money. Oliver was walking near the river in the evening when a group of people dressed in black caught him. All of them were wearing masks. Their leader offered Oliver 3 options. They could throw the guy into the sea with hungry piranhas, he could choose to end up in the ocean swarming with sharks, or he could opt for a river with hippos. Which should Oliver choose to survive? Piranhas only live in freshwater. The guy should pick the sea with piranhas. Look at these dishes very attentively. Do you think any of them isn't safe to eat? Look at this piece of cake. There's a spider on it. And is it spinning a tiny web? Well, I wouldn't eat this dessert if I were you. Both of these ladies are in a terrible hurry. They're going to be late for work. But while one of them might still get to the office on time, the other is definitely doing something wrong and won't make it. Put those attention skills of yours to good use and share your ideas in the comments. The first lady is bound to be late for work. She's trying to style her hair, but the tool she is using is unplugged. Mia got a message from the building security that a dangerous criminal had sneaked into the office where she worked. She needed to get out of there as soon as possible. She was running toward the elevators when both of them simultaneously opened their doors. Inside, there were suspicious-looking guys. Which elevator should Mia enter? The second elevator. The criminal has just entered the building. He can't be coming from upstairs. Luna has 2 friends, Jack and Owen, who don't know each other. On her birthday, the girl wants to go to the movies with the guys. But if she invites the guys, she's going to pay. What is cheaper, to invite both guys at the same time or go to the movies with each of them in turn? It'll cost the girl less to invite her 2 friends at the same time. This way, she'll only have to buy 3 tickets. And if she goes with each of them, she'll pay for 4 tickets. A wealthy businessman disappeared right from his home one afternoon. The detective arrived and questioned everyone who was in the house at that time. The cook said she had been preparing dinner and hadn't left the kitchen. The maid claimed she had been cleaning the dining room after lunch, and the wife said she had been sunbathing and swimming in the pool. The detective immediately realized who was behind the man's disappearance. Do you know the answer? It was the wife. Look outside, it's fall, and there's no water in the swimming pool. A man was in a 9-story building when a fire started. He jumped out of the window and didn't get any injuries. How is it possible? The man was on the first floor when he jumped out of the window. Three friends went on a weekend getaway at a fancy hotel. During dinner, Jack ordered a seafood platter. Paul had a shrimp salad, and Sam went for a hamburger. By the end of the next day, one of them got food poisoning. Who was it? Seafood usually causes trouble just a few hours after eating it, not a whole day later. Since the person only felt bad by the end of the next day, it must have been Sam. It was a regular day at the museum, until, suddenly, the lights turned off and the alarm started blaring. Oh no! A painting's gone missing! Take a good look at these three suspects. Can you tell who took it? Wait a second, this lady's scarf looks way too big. She's hiding the painting underneath it. A witch finds an old book sealed by magic. To open it, she must say the total number of triangles on the cover. Can you count them all? There are 8 triangles. Well done. Carla found a backpack on the train. Inside, there was a screwdriver, a sandwich, and a newspaper from last week. She handed it to security, and they suspect it might belong to one of these people. A man who just got off at this station, a worker who repaired the train yesterday, or a tourist who visited the city last week. So, whose backpack is it? Look at the sandwich. There's steam coming out of it. That means it's still hot. So the backpack must belong to the man who just got off the train. A hacker was trying to crack a password, but all he found was this strange clue. He tried adding, subtracting, and even multiplying the numbers, but nothing worked. Then he realized it wasn't about math at all. Can you figure it out? It's all about the number of circles. In 1985, there are 3 of them, see? So the answer is 3. Lisa was watching a TV show with her boyfriend when she suddenly had to rush to the bathroom. "Pause it and wait for me," she said. Her boyfriend agreed. But when Lisa came back, she was sure the TV was showing a different scene. Can you spot 5 differences? Yep, there they are. Olivia and Theo are co-workers traveling to a meeting in another city, and they booked flights on different airlines. Both planes were in the air when something went wrong. On Olivia's flight, her window suddenly cracked. On Theo's flight, the oxygen mask dropped from the ceiling, but only one of them is really in danger. Who is it? Olivia's fine. Airplane windows have multiple layers, and it was only the inner one that cracked. But Theo's in real trouble. His oxygen mask didn't work, which means he has no air supply. A teacher walks into class and shouts, "Surprise test!" Two students immediately stand up, saying they can't take it because they need to go to the nurse's office. She asks why, and they both say they hurt their legs. But only one of them is telling the truth. Who is it? It's the boy. The girl's pretending. Look, she's standing on her supposedly injured leg. Henry just finished his workout. He headed to the locker room and panicked when he realized his phone was missing. The gym owner questioned 3 people who were nearby. A woman said she was taking a shower when it happened. A guy said he had just walked into the locker room. And a personal trainer said both his hands were busy lifting weights. So, who took the phone? It was the woman. If she was really in the shower after her workout, why is she still wearing gym clothes? She's not telling the truth. Jess just had a son. She held him for a moment and said, "He'll be called Lucas." A nurse came over and said she needed to take Lucas for some tests. When she came back, she handed him to Jess, but Jess froze. "That's not my son," she said. How is she so sure? Because if you remember, Lucas had a birthmark on his head. So yeah, they accidentally switched him. A food inspector walks into a restaurant and asks to see the menu. The chef gets nervous but brings out 4 of their best dishes. The inspector takes one look and calls the authorities to shut the place down. He says there's something wrong with each plate. Can you find all the issues? Let's see, the first dish has a cockroach. The second one has mold. The third has a strand of hair. And the last one? Well, the problem isn't the food, it's the drink that comes with it. That looks really suspicious. Kate and Paul were playing badminton. They played 5 matches, and each of them won 3 times. How is that possible? Well, that's because they weren't playing against each other. They had different opponents. At a charity auction for billionaires, a necklace worth $1 billion suddenly disappeared. The detective had to find the thief without being seen, so he hid behind a curtain and could only see the backs of 3 women. One had blonde curls decorated with seashells. Another had bright rainbow hair with sparkling clips. The third had red hair braided with coral. So, which of the 3 women stole the necklace? It's the blonde one. Seashells are light, so why are her curls pulled down like that? She must have hidden the necklace inside her hair and attached it to the shells. Hey, don't be afraid. This vampire's actually pretty nice. He decided to stop drinking blood. Luckily, he found the perfect substitute, tomato juice. So he went on vacation and packed 48 little juice boxes. He drinks one every 2 hours. So how long until he runs out of tomato juice? Well, let's do the math. 48 boxes times 2 hours equals 96 hours. That's 4 full days of tomato juice. A young woman was kidnapped by a crazy math teacher. He locked her in a tank that started filling with water and said, "The only way to stop it is to answer this question. Can you write the number 89 using only the number 8? Can you help her before it's too late?" And the answer is 88 plus 8 divided by 8. That equals 89. Did you get it right? 3 hikers see a huge warning sign, high avalanche risk. But they didn't turn back. Minutes later, they hear a deep rumble. The avalanche is coming. Each of them reacts in a completely different way. Samuel crouches down and holds his backpack over his head. Jack stays on the same path but speeds up. Dylan slows down a bit and starts moving diagonally. So, who's got the best chance of survival? It's Dylan. Moving diagonally helps you get out of the avalanche's direct path. Charlotte meets her cousin at the park. It's a beautiful sunny day, not a single cloud in the sky. But something feels off. Her cousin is carrying an umbrella that's completely soaking wet, while his clothes are totally dry. Weird, right? Well, take a good look around the park. Can you guess what happened? See that little sprinkler over there? It's off now, but just a few moments ago, it was spraying water everywhere. He opened his umbrella to protect himself from getting drenched. At a wedding, all the bridesmaids were told to wear colors that are also fruit names. On the big day, they lined up next to each other, and the bride was furious. But why? Who broke the rule? Let's see. She's wearing orange, she's in a pink dress, and the third one picked olive. Those are all fruits. But the last one, she's in mint, so she's the one who messed up. At a charity event, a millionaire showed up with his new companion. His friends wanted to test how smart she was. So one of them said, "A man, a plan, a canal, Panama." Right away, she knew exactly what it was. Can you tell? Pangram, palindrome, acronym, lipogram. And the right answer is B, palindrome. That's when a word or phrase reads the same backward and forward. So how many challenges did you get right? Tell us in the comments. A tourist got lost and found 3 houses. In the first one, the light is on, but the windows are boarded up from the inside. In the second one, the doors are wide open and a radio is playing inside. In the third house, everything is covered in dust, but there's a warm cup of tea on the table. Which house is the safest to enter? It's the third one. The tea is still warm, which means the owner has just stepped out. Mr. Johnson keeps his socks in a dresser drawer. He always buys them in only 3 colors: brown, blue, and green, and stores them all together. Mr. Johnson has an important meeting. He pulls the socks out of the drawer one by one without looking. What is the minimum number of socks he must take out to be sure he has a matching pair of the same color? Four socks are enough because the first 3 might be all different colors. 3 people are sitting at a table: a doctor, the son of the doctor's father, and the father of the doctor's son. How are these people related? Well, we have the doctor, her brother, and her husband here. The doctor is a woman. The son of the doctor's father is her brother, and the father of the doctor's son is her husband. An archaeologist went down into an underground passage with 3 corridors. He can smell food from the first corridor, but the cobweb at the entrance was untouched. There's light coming from the second corridor, but there were many old torches with no traces of soot. The third passage was completely dark, but the floor was covered in fresh, muddy footprints. Which corridor did he choose to find people? The third one. The footprints are the most reliable sign. Jamie was offered a pay of $20 for every working day and a deduction of $30 for each non-working day. After 60 days, he got nothing. How many days did he work? If Jamie had worked every day, he would have made $1,200. For each non-working day, he lost $50. Since after 60 days, the worker earned nothing, he lost $1,200. Divided by 50, and we get 24 non-working days. So the number of working days was 36. A famous detective stared at a strange note. It was partly written in Asian characters, partly in numbers, and partly in the English alphabet. Can you read it? It's simple. When you remove all the foreign symbols and numbers, you get I love Brightside. Aww. Three friends boast to each other. One says that she has a loving husband and kids. Another claims she has a brilliant career, a rich husband, and children. The third one says she has all the same, but one of them is lying. In reality, she is a single mother. Who is it? It's the first girl. Her tattoo has two matching symbols, a big and a small butterfly, a subtle hint at mother and child. Lizzie decided to start a culinary vlog to make some extra cash. She filmed the first video about cooking with homemade pasta. She posted it and got a bunch of angry comments saying that she is a liar. Why did her viewers decide so? There are 3 empty instant noodle containers sitting on the counter. Obviously, that pasta wasn't homemade. Sam and Sarah are competing for the scholarship of their dreams from the Astronomy Society. The final presentation will decide who wins. After looking at the presentations of both contestants, the jury chose Sarah and told Sam to get more serious if he wants to achieve something. Why did they say so? Well, in his presentation, Saturn is where the Sun should be, and Mars switched places with our Earth. Airport security receives an anonymous phone call. An infamous criminal is about to try to leave the country with the diamonds and emeralds she stole. The security easily identified the criminal after scanning her luggage. What's suspicious here? This shoe is clearly larger than all the others, and it doesn't have a pair, so she's probably hiding something inside it. Jackson was going home from a night shift and decided to have breakfast at a roadside diner. There was just one more visitor inside and a waitress who seemed a bit weird. Jackson ordered a full breakfast for $20, but when it was time to pay, the waitress brought him a bill that said $5.05. He paid, went outside, and called the police to report an emergency. Why did he do it? The waitress typed that number because it looks like SOS. Something is really wrong there. A farmer once challenged an engineer, a physicist, and a mathematician to fence off the largest amount of area using the least amount of fence. The engineer shaped his fence like a large circle. The physicist made a long line and said that fencing off half the Earth was the best. The mathematician laughed at them and showed his design, which beat the others. What did he do? The mathematician made a small circular fence around himself and declared himself to be on the outside. Ooh, smart. Nancy stayed late at work and got locked up in the office. To get out, she must guess the 3-digit code to the door. There's a calendar next to it, and it has the letters WMF at the bottom. Can you help her figure out the code? It's 3:15. The letters stand for the days of the week, Wednesday, Monday, and Friday, and the code is their numbers. Now Steve is going on a blind date with a friend of a friend. All he knows is that she'll be wearing a polka dot skirt. When he arrives at the restaurant, he sees 3 girls in polka dot skirts. So, who is the one? There are 3 empty plates and 2 glasses on the first table, so the girl isn't alone. The second girl has almost finished her coffee and is working on her laptop. So it must be the third girl, patiently waiting for Steve. A frog falls to the bottom of a 30-foot well. Each morning, the frog climbs 3 feet up, but each night it slips 2 feet down during sleep. So at the beginning of the first day, the frog has 30 feet to go. At the beginning of the second day, it has 29 feet to go, and so on. How many days does the frog need to escape from the well? At the beginning of the 28th day, the frog will climb the last 3 feet and escape. Ribbit. All right, your brain must be boiling by now. Let's give it a little break. Try to find the hidden animals in these pictures. Here's the first one. Did you notice this bird right here? Now on to the second picture. Yep, it's a butterfly right here. Now, the trickiest of them all. There's a chameleon hiding in this forest. Can you spot it? Well done!
Let's warm up with a few quick math questions. Then we'll move on to 5 levels of challenges. Are you ready? What's the result of this equation? It's 13. If you double 25 and subtract 10, what do you get? Correct, 40. What do you get when you multiply 14 by 5? That's 70. Nailed it. Now look at this sequence. Which number is missing here? Easy, 20. What's 4 cubed? That's 4 times 4 times 4, which equals 64. Now that we're warmed up, it's time for the real challenges. Welcome to Level 1, Number Newbie. A princess is trapped in a castle, and only one door will lead to her freedom. There's a clue on the wall. It says, I'm a number between 10 and 20, and the sum of my digits equals 3. Which door should she choose? The correct door is the one marked 12, because 1 plus 2 equals 3. Hurry up, princess! Take a look at this equation. You only need to move one matchstick to make it correct. Any idea how? Take this matchstick and move it right here. And there you have it. 3 minus 2 equals 1. Isabella is at the post office to pick up a package that is shaped like a dodecahedron. So, which one should she grab? Yep, that's the one. Next, a movie theater has 350 seats. Out of those, 175 tickets have been sold. Now tell me, what percentage of the seats are filled? Since half the seats are taken, the theater is exactly 50% full. Can you spot the odd number out? Look closely. It's 67. All the others divide evenly by 7. Okay, get ready, because level 2 is here. Speed Solver. Oh no! Sophia's brother has locked her teddy bear inside a cage and she can only free it by cracking the code. The clue on the lock says 200 divided by 5 times 8 equals. Can you guess it? The code is 320. Teddy is safe! Next up, form the smallest 3-digit number you can using the digits 1, 2, and 0. You can't start with 0 since it needs to be a proper 3-digit number. So, the smallest number you can make is 102. Now tell me, which of these is the smallest number? The smallest is 21, so the answer is option A. Take a look at this addition pyramid. Follow the arrows and figure out which numbers should fill in the blank spaces. The missing numbers are 3, 5, and 13. Did you get them all right? Time for a matchstick challenge. You need to remove 2 sticks to make 4 equal squares. Can you spot which ones? Remove these 2 right here. And there you have it. Alright, it's time to level up. Welcome to Level 3, Logic Legend. Take a good look at this table. Can you figure out the mystery number? Well, let's see. Each column follows the same pattern. First, we've got 7 times 4 equals 28. Minus 1 gives us 27. Next up, 8 times 5 is 40. Minus 2, that's 38. So if we keep that same logic going, 9 times 6 is 54. Minus 3, and the missing number is 51. Check out these numbers and answer. What parking spot is the car sitting in? Turn the image upside down. Now you'll see it. It's a simple sequence. And the car is parked in spot 87. 3 waiters deliver 3 different meals. Table 1 gets an orange juice and a hamburger. Table 2 gets 2 hamburgers and an ice cream. And Table 3 just ordered a juice and an ice cream. We know the total price of each table's meal. So, how much does each item cost? The hamburger costs $9, the juice is $3, and the ice cream is $16. Yeah, that ice cream better be amazing. What's the result of this equation? Division and multiplication come first, so the result is 65. Observe this sequence. Now answer. What number goes in the green circle? The numbers go up by 25 each time, so the missing number is 300. Are you ready to become a pro? This is Level 4, Math Master. We've got the sequence: 2, 5, 10, 17, 26. Can you tell what comes next? Well, the number between the numbers is increasing by 2 each time. Plus 3, plus 5, plus 7, plus 9. So the next jump should be plus 11. That gives us 37. You need to fix this equation by moving just one matchstick. But how? Yep, move that stick. And now it reads 18 plus 1 equals 19. Nice work! Carla is playing tic-tac-toe, but she can only use numbers that are multiples of 6. To win the match, which number will she use? The next move is for the blue player, who's about to place the number 36. So, to win the game, Carla will go with the number 42. That's the answer. We've got 2 mobiles hanging from a scale, and together they weigh 24 pounds. So, based on the balance, can you figure out how much each shape weighs? Each mobile weighs 12 pounds, right? So that means the diamond weighs 2, the clover is 3, the star is 1, and the moon is 4. Mystery solved! You're building a cube using toothpicks for the edges and marshmallows to connect them at the corners. So here's the challenge. How many toothpicks and marshmallows do you need to make one cube? A cube has 12 edges, so you'll need 12 toothpicks. And it has 8 corners. That means 8 marshmallows to hold everything together. Nice and yummy. It's time for Level 5, Ultimate Boss. Only the sharpest minds make it this far. Ready to prove you're one of them? All right. Can you count the number of blocks in this image before time runs out? There's 1 block on top, 3 in the middle, and 5 at the bottom. That makes a total of 9 blocks. How fast did you figure this one out? Pay attention to this table. Can you figure out the missing number? Let's crack the pattern. Take the first digit, multiply it by the second, and then add the third. So for this one, 5 times 2 equals 10. Plus 7, that gives us 17. A father notices that if he reverses the digits of his age, he gets his son's age. 9 years ago, the father was twice as old as his son. How old are they now? After doing the math, here's the answer. The father is 63 and the son is 36. This one went viral, and yep, it's way harder than it looks. The internet was totally divided over the answer. Can you solve this? Even though there's a division, we start with the brackets. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Now it becomes 6 divided by 2 times 3. Go left to right. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. 3 times 3 equals 9. And that's the correct answer, 9. Over half the students at Harvard, MIT, and Princeton got this one wrong. Let's see if you can crack it. A bat and a ball cost $1.10 in total. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? Your intuition must have screamed 10 cents, right? Wrong. If the ball were 10 cents, that would make the bat $1.10, which adds up to $1.20. So the ball actually costs 5 cents, and the bat is $1.05. Okay, deep breath. This is the final challenge. We've got 3 different equations, and each one uses 3 identical digits. Your mission is to make the result equal to 6. And we have 2 rules. Rule number 1, you can only use basic math operations. Rule 2, you can't introduce any new numbers. Ready? Time's up, and here's how it's done. Did you get all of them right? The fun part is that this challenge has more than one solution. Can you figure out the other ones? If so, let us know in the comments. The police received a tip. A dangerous criminal is hiding at the beach, disguised as a regular tourist. She's one of the girls standing under a shower now. Can you figure out which one is dangerous?
It's the third girl in the gold swimsuit. Have you noticed that she's showering with latex gloves? No tourist would do that. She doesn't want to leave her fingerprints on any surfaces, afraid of being exposed. Sarah needs to fry 6 pies. How can she do it in 15 minutes if the pan only fits 4 pies at a time and each pie needs to fry for 5 minutes on each side? Sarah places 4 pies on the pan and fries them for 5 minutes. Then she flips 2 pies, removes the other 2, and places 2 new uncooked pies. After frying for 5 minutes, she removes the 2 finished pies, flips the remaining 2, places the last 2 uncooked pies, and leaves them for 5 minutes. Detective Case visited a lake where 3 people were minding their own business. One was swimming, one was fishing, and the other was in a boat. When the swimmer came ashore, she saw that her bracelet was missing, yet there were no footprints in the sand. Case instantly realized who had taken the bracelet. Do you know it too? It was the fisherman. He hooked the bracelet with his rod without stepping onto the sand. The captain of a Japanese ship left his watch in his cabin while he went to oil the ship. When he came back, the watch was gone. He questioned 3 crew members. The cook said he'd been in the kitchen making dinner. The engineer said he'd been in the engine room. The seaman said he'd been fixing the flag on the mast because it was upside down. The captain understood who the thief was. Who did it? The seaman. The Japanese flag looks the same right side up or upside down. A man rushed into the hospital, saw his wife lying in a bed, and shouted, "Who poisoned her?" Detective File stopped him and asked where he'd been. The man answered that he'd been at a friend's house when his housekeeper called. She told him his wife had collapsed and had been taken to the hospital. As soon as he got the news, he ran over. Detective File arrested the man immediately. Why? Because no one ever said she was poisoned, only that she collapsed. Sam came to his office and found a large sum of cash missing. 3 people could have entered the office. John said that he'd been outside drinking coffee. Marcus explained that he'd been sitting at his desk, working. And Lisa said that she'd felt unwell and had been resting. Who took the money? See that coffee cup on John's desk? Why would he go outside if he'd had enough coffee at hand? He must be the thief. A jeweler holding ice near his right temple claimed that a well-dressed man with a cane had come in to check out some rings. Suddenly, the man hit the jeweler on the head with the cane. When the jeweler came to his senses, the rings were gone. Strangely, the police arrested the jeweler. Why? If the man had been holding the cane in his right hand, the jeweler would have been hit on the left temple, not the right. The jeweler made up the robbery to claim insurance. Inspector Winters questioned the main suspect, Mr. Logan, after a crash caused by a speeding car. The inspector also said that the car, according to witnesses, was very loud. Logan claimed that he hadn't driven in 2 days. It was his wife who used their car that morning. Also, to prove his car was very quiet, he sat inside and started it. The car, indeed, ran silently, but the inspector immediately realized Logan had lied. How? If Logan hadn't driven recently, the seat wouldn't have been adjusted to his height. Martin was playing tennis with his friend David. He hit the ball too hard. It flew into the air and fell down a hollow fence post. The post was narrow and Martin couldn't get the ball out of there. Luckily, David had an idea. In no time, the guy helped Martin get the ball back. How did he do it? David used a water hose lying nearby. He filled the pipe with water and the ball floated up. A woman saw a guy getting robbed. She screamed to warn him, but did nothing else to prevent the robbery. Why? She was just watching a TV show. An accident happens at a gas station. Some petrol spills out and catches fire. The flames are spreading toward huge drums just a few feet away. If the fire reaches them, there will be a blast. Thomas brings a water pipe to help put the fire out, but the manager stops him. Why? Pouring water will only make the fire spread faster. The manager quickly throws some soil over it and puts out the fire. Two people were born at the same time, but they don't celebrate their birthdays on the same day. How is it possible? They were born in different time zones, and in one of these zones, it was already the next day. A man was in a 9-story building when a fire started. He jumped out the window and didn't get any injuries. How is it possible? The man was on the first floor when he jumped out the window. 4 prisoners took up art classes. They studied every Monday. Guards escorted them to the art room and searched the prisoners at the end of every lesson. All the prisoners had their own art supplies, which they kept inside their cells. The question is, which of them has more chances to escape? It's this prisoner. He can use his supplies to paint his clothes green. This way, he'll look like a guard and will be able to sneak out of jail. Alia dreams of eating some mangoes. There's a mango tree next to a nearby pond, but an imitator monkey lives on top of it. The girl can't reach the fruit. What can she do instead? She can throw something at the monkey. It'll imitate her and throw a mango at her. Mark got locked in a basement. There were no windows, only a door with a letter combination lock. What could probably give him some hint was a note he found in the corner. What is the code word? Mark managed to get out of the basement. The code word was SMART. The key to this riddle was hidden in the alphabet. P plus 3 letters is S, N minus 1 letter is M, and so on. A police officer was patrolling the streets on a winter evening. Suddenly, she saw a person sneaking out of a house through a window with 2 large bags. The officer ran after the criminal, but the burglar must have hidden in one of these houses. Which one? It's not the house on the left. There are too many people inside. There are no footprints in the snow leading to the house on the right. No one has been there for quite some time. So, it's the house in the middle. There are 4 cups on the counter, all of them upturned and hiding the same number of sweets underneath. Near each of the cups, there's a sign that says how many sweets are under it. The signs are 5 or 6, 7 or 8, 6 or 7, and 7 or 5. Only one of these signs is correct. How many sweets are there under each cup? Since only one sign is correct, the right number can't appear twice. It means there are 8 sweets under each cup. After a bank had been robbed, the police found a bag with money in the park. It was lying among cacti. The police officer arrested 3 suspects. It didn't take long to figure out who the bank robber was. Do you know who it is? It's the man on the left. He's the only one with some scratches. They must have been left by the cacti.
Lucy and her best friends, Lily, Joy, and Rhonda, were having a pajama party. They decided to watch a movie in the living room. Lucy went to the kitchen to get some snacks. When she returned, she saw that Lily was lying on the floor unconscious. Rhonda said, "I was on the phone talking to my boyfriend. Suddenly, Joy hit Lily with a pillow and she fell down. I don't know why." Joy said, "Rhonda's lying. She hit Lily with a pillow very hard, on purpose." Who's lying? Both of them. There are no pillows in this room. After the movie, the girls decided to play with a Ouija board. They called the ghost of a famous singer. Suddenly, the pointer on the board started moving by itself and wrote this: "Evil lots yad 3 Eva hoy." Can you help Lucy and her friends decode this message? It says, "You have 3 days to live." The girls freaked out and interrupted the session. Lily offered everyone to take some pictures. They took many cute photos, but when they scrolled through the gallery, they freaked out even more. Why? All 4 friends are in this picture. But then, who took it? Lucy told her friends it was time to get some sleep. But as soon as they entered the room, they ran out screaming. Why? Look at the mirror. It reflects a creepy shadow waving at them. Eventually, Lucy offered her friends to sleep in her parents' bedroom, and she opted for the couch in the living room. The TV was on, and it calmed her down. In the middle of the night, she heard some noise from the bedroom and hurried to check on her friends. All of them seemed to be sleeping. Can you guess which one wandered outside? Lily. She has leaves in her hair. The next day, Lucy, Rhonda, and Lily met in the classroom. They were very concerned. Why? This is Joy's desk, and it's empty. She didn't come to school. Neither did she warn anybody. Look, Lucy is carrying a cup of coffee with Joy's name. Joy didn't show up and didn't answer her friends' calls. Lucy, Rhonda, and Lily went to visit her. They found the girl in bed, under a blanket. The friends got very scared. Can you tell why? Joy has covered the window with a blackout curtain, and the shape of her ears and teeth has changed. She's turning into a vampire. Lily decided to stay and take care of Joy. Meanwhile, Rhonda offered Lucy to visit her Aunt Vera. She ran a magic shop with different potions. When Vera heard about what happened to Joy, she said,
"Okay, I need 3 ingredients to cook a healing drink. Here's the first one. When it comes to me, you go when you see red and stop at green."
Can you guess the ingredient? It's watermelon. To get the second ingredient, Vera took Rhonda and Lucy to her cherry garden. Rhonda picked 8 cherries, Lucy picked 13, and Vera picked 14. How many apples did they collect together? Zero. Apples don't grow in cherry gardens. Vera gave Lucy and Rhonda a hint about the third ingredient. Here it is. Can you help them crack this rebus? It's mandragora. Mandragora grew near the spookiest house in town. Vera gave Lucy and Rhonda a task to find it and bring it to her store. While Rhonda was searching in the garden, Lucy decided to get a closer look at the house. She saw a sign with a weird name on it, Siomon Eprik. She went to the huge door and opened it quietly. After Lucy got inside, the door slammed shut behind her back. Tons of vampire bats rushed at her. Lucy started pulling on the door like crazy. Suddenly, she saw that there was something written on it. Change the order of letters in Siomon Eprik. She yelled the answer, and the door opened. What did the girl say? The real name of that place was Creepy Mansion. Rhonda found 3 root vegetables in the garden, but only one of them was mandragora. Can you figure out which veggie Rhonda should pick? Even if you've never seen a mandrake, you can eliminate the other plants. This is definitely a carrot, and this is a beet. So the remaining one must be the mandragora. Lucy and Rhonda prepared to leave the spooky house, but suddenly they stepped on a trap hidden in the grass and fell into a deep well. They looked around and found 3 tunnels leading to freedom. A fire-breathing dragon was waiting in the first tunnel. It was very angry and disliked people. There was a portal leading into a black hole in the second tunnel, and huge cacti were growing all over the third tunnel. Their juice was poisonous to any human. Which way should Lucy and Rhonda choose? The third one. Look, those cacti don't have any spines, and no one's gonna force the girls to drink cactus juice. Vera cooked the potion for Joy. Lucy and Rhonda took it to the girl's house, but when they entered her room, it was empty. Joy's parents said that Lily and Joy had left together. They were both acting very weird. Rhonda said, "Oh no, they've both turned into vampires. We've got to find them before it's too late." Can you help them find any clues in Joy's room? Look at her laptop. They seem to have bought train tickets to go to Las Vegas to visit Joy's granny. Lucy and Rhonda boarded the train. Besides them, there were 4 other people in the car. One of these passengers didn't have a ticket. Can you figure out who it is? This woman. She's the only one who's hiding her head behind the headrest of her seat so that the camera doesn't spot her. When the train was going through a tunnel, the lights went out and the passengers got very frightened. When the light turned on again, one of the passengers shouted,
Help me! Someone has stolen my bag!
Lucy immediately realized who had done this. What about you? Any ideas? Yeah, this guy. There's some makeup lying under his seat, and his window is open. He put the contents of the bag into his backpack, and then threw the bag out the window. Rhonda and Lucy got to Las Vegas and headed for the house where Joy's granny lived, but they kept coming to the wrong houses. In the first house, they met this old lady, and in the second, there was this one. Can you tell which elderly woman is dangerous? It's the second one. She's up to something, while the first one is just getting ready for a Halloween party. Finally, Lucy and Rhonda found the right house. The door was open. When they entered, they saw Joy's granny unconscious on the floor. She had a vampire bite on her neck. Suddenly, Joy and Lily popped out of nowhere. They had pale faces, sharp teeth, and pointy ears. They came closer and closer, ready to bite their friends. Suddenly, Rhonda began laughing and exclaimed, "Stop fooling around, it's just a prank." How did she know? The mirror reflects Joy, and Lily casts a shadow. They're not real vampires, it's just a Halloween prank. Joy went to take a shower to remove her vampire makeup, but someone poured paint into the shower head and the water turned green. Joy questioned Lucy, Rhonda, and Lily. Lucy said, "I did my laundry and then went to cook some kiwi jam. Sorry, I gotta go, it might burn." Lily said, "I took a shower and washed my hair right before you went in. What happened? Why are you so green?" And Rhonda said, "I'm studying for my geometry test. Can you keep it down, please?" Who pranked Joy? Lily said she'd just washed her hair, but it's dry and braided. Besides, she's wearing a dress under her bathrobe. That's a pretty suspicious outfit. Rhonda decided to prank Lily. She took a balloon and a cupcake paper cup. She filled the balloon with some water and put it into the paper cup. Then she added some shaving cream on top and decorated it all with sprinkles. Now it looked exactly like a real cupcake. Rhonda was very proud of herself. Suddenly, she heard other girls entering the kitchen. Rhonda left her cupcake on a plate, along with real cupcakes, and hid under the table. Lily, Lucy, and Joy entered the kitchen, saw the cupcakes, and decided to eat them. Can you tell who took the prank cupcake? Joy. The real cream has already melted, but the shaving cream still looks perfect. Joy, Rhonda, Lily, and Lucy went out to celebrate Halloween. They knocked on the neighbor's door. Mike opened the door. The girls shouted, "Trick or treat!" Mike said, "I'm going to give you diamonds instead of sweets if you crack my riddle. You will always find me in the past. I can be created in the present, but the future can never taint me. What am I?" Each of the four friends got a beautiful diamond. What did they tell Mike? The correct answer is history. The girls went to the local Halloween party. The hostess didn't want to let them in without a password, but they didn't know it. The woman liked their costumes, so she gave them a little hint. "I eat clams. I live in the ocean. I move slowly. I have 5 arms. What am I?" In no time, Joy, Rhonda, Lily, and Lucy were inside. So, what was the password? A starfish.
Liam was a doctor from Chicago. Once, he asked his boss to let him attend a medical conference in Berlin. The boss let Liam go but asked him to send a photo report as soon as he got to Europe. The next day, the boss received a message from Liam that said, "Hello from Germany, that's me right now." A photo was attached to the message. After looking at it, the boss realized Liam had lied to him. How did he figure it out? In the photo, there's a clock on the wall that shows exactly the same time as the clock in the boss's office. If Liam was in Germany, the clock would show a different time because of the time difference. A bit of math for you. Can you figure out what comes next in this sequence of numbers? It's gonna be this long number. You see, each next number is a verbal representation of the number before it. This way, if we start with 1, the next number in the sequence will be 1 1. And the next one is 2 1s. And then we've got 1 2 1 1, and so on. Look at this picture attentively. The guy has sent a message to his girlfriend. He seems to be missing her very much, but is it true? Can you figure out if he might be cheating on her? Yes, unfortunately he is. Look at this napkin. There's a lipstick print on it. He must be with another girl. Once, a man came to a police station. He said he'd been robbed on his way to the bank. He was carrying a briefcase with a big sum of money when a man wearing a black mask and gloves attacked him. The robber snatched the briefcase and ran away. The police officer listened to the man and asked him about a fresh cut on his right cheek. The man replied that it was from a ring the criminal had been wearing. After these words, the policeman immediately knew the man was lying. How did he realize it? Are you as attentive as the police officer to figure it out? The man couldn't know about the ring on the robber's finger, since he claimed that the criminal had been wearing gloves. Turn me on my side, and I'm everything. Cut me in half, and I'm nothing. What am I? I'm the number 8. On my side, I look like an infinity symbol. And cut in half, I'm just 2 zeros. Look at these people very attentively. Your task is to find out which girl the man is interested in. Remember that the answer here lies in the details. And this puzzle can tell us how good you are at reading people. Our body language can tell other people a lot about us. The way you sit, stand, and even move your arms can give away what you're thinking about or how you feel. The girls in the picture have different postures and facial expressions. And once we look closely, we will understand that the man is clearly interested in the girl who is most interested in him. But which one is it? The second one from the left. Her feet are pointed towards the man, and we can say the same about his feet. While girls number 1 and 3 are looking at the man too. They aren't into him all that much. Their feet and body language give it away. A wealthy old man didn't have a will, so he ordered his sons to race their horses, and the one whose horse would be slower would receive his inheritance. The 2 sons realized that they would be unable to race since they would be both holding their horses back. So they went to a wise man and asked him what they should do. After listening to his advice, the brothers started racing at full speed. What did the wise man tell them? He recommended switching horses. Now, whoever wins the race will get the inheritance because they will technically own the losing, slower horse. 4 people came to a river with a narrow bridge that could only hold 2 people at a time. It was nighttime, and they had just one torch that had to be used when crossing the bridge. Person A needed 1 minute to cross the bridge, and person B could do it in 2 minutes. It took person C 5 minutes to get to the other side, and person D needed 8 minutes. If 2 people were crossing the bridge together, they had to move at the slower person's pace. Can all these people get across the bridge within 15 minutes or less? Yes, they can. Let's see how it can be done. First, person A and person B cross the bridge, and then person A brings the light back. It takes 3 minutes. Next, person C and person D cross the bridge, and person B brings the light back afterward. It takes another 10 minutes. And finally, person A and person B cross the bridge again. This takes another 2 minutes. In total, we've got 15 minutes. Recently, Mark had been feeling some discomfort in his knees, so he decided to go to the doctor. After examining the man, the specialist gave him a piece of paper, saying, "Here's the solution," and then he left the room. What was written in the note? What did the doctor mean? The treatment is a painless operation. The missing letters spell out pain. Thus, Mark should have a painless operation. Thomas was talking with his colleague, and she asked him how many kids he had. He answered that he had 3 children, and she asked him about their ages. Thomas replied, "The product of their ages is 72, and the sum of their ages is the same as my house number." His colleague was confused. The next time she was invited to Thomas's house, she paid attention to his house number, and still, she couldn't figure out the kids' ages. Tom decided to help her. "Oh, that's right, I forgot to tell you the oldest one likes chocolate pudding." And after that, his colleague figured out the ages of the 3 children. Have you understood how old they are? The kids are 3, 3, and 8. The key to this riddle is the colleague knows the sum of the children's ages, but she still can't tell how old Thomas's children are because she is stuck between several possibilities. To narrow it down further, only 2 sets of numbers that multiply to 72 share the same sum. And that's when the man reveals that his oldest child likes chocolate pudding. Only the latter of these 2 sets has a distinct oldest child. Imagine that you're in a dark room. There's a candle, a wood stove, and a gas lamp there. You only have 1 match. What do you light first? First of all, you'll need to light the match. These 5 bags of gold all look identical. Each of them has 10 gold pieces in it, but one of the bags contains fake gold. The real gold and fake gold are identical in every way, except the weight. Each piece of fake gold weighs 1.1 ounce, while a piece of real gold weighs 1 ounce. You have a perfectly accurate digital scale, but you can use it only once. How can you determine which bag has the fake gold? You should take 1 gold piece from the first bag, 2 from the second bag, 3 from the third bag, 4 from the fourth bag, and 5 from the fifth bag. If the number on the scale ends in 0.1, you'll know the first bag contains the fake gold. If the number ends in 0.2, then the fake gold is in the second bag, and so on. Okay, first question. Who is someone that doesn't decide if they go in or out? That's a prisoner. And today, you're going to be a true detective solving some prisoner riddles. Ready? Here's a task for you. Take a good look at these 3 houses. In one of them, a person who recently escaped from prison resides. In which house do you think they live? If they just escaped from prison, they're very alert and surely ready to flee immediately and as fast as possible. Look at the way the cars are parked. 2 are parked with the back facing the road and 1 is pointing towards the street.
If a car is parked pointing towards the street, it's faster to drive out, so it must be the runaway prisoner's house. A prisoner has a chance to escape prison. He has a choice of 2 doors. Behind one, there's freedom, and the other one leads back to his cell. He doesn't know which is which. In front of either door, there's a guard. One of them always lies and the other always tells the truth. But again, he doesn't know which one is which. The prisoner can ask one question. What question should he ask to get out? He should ask either guard, is the lying guard in front of the freedom door? If he says yes, there are 2 options. Either he's telling the truth or he's the liar, and so he stands next to the cell door. In any case, the prisoner should pick the other door. If the guard says no, then it's either the truth and the door is then the freedom door, or it's a lie, but it still remains that it's the freedom door. So, in a case of a no, the prisoner should pick that door. A prisoner is trying to escape. He managed to leave the cell and found an underground tunnel, but it only led him to 3 doors. All of them didn't look safe. Behind the first door, there were 2 guards who would see him and take him back to prison. Behind the second door, there was a room full of lasers. Behind the third door, there was a room with the floor full of broken glass. Which way is safer? The prisoner should pick the last door. The floor is covered in broken glass, but he's wearing shoes, so it can't cause him much harm. Another prisoner is trying to escape, and he almost succeeded. There are now 3 doors in front of him. Behind one, there will be 3 hungry and angry dogs. Behind the second door, there will be an explosion in 5 minutes. Behind the third door, there is a guard. Which door should the prisoner pick to get out successfully? He should wait for 5 minutes until the explosion and then use the second door to get out. Now here's a logic puzzle. An inmate had a visitor. A guard asked him who it was and he said, "I don't have any siblings. This man's father is my father's son." So who visited the inmate? Since the prisoner doesn't have any siblings, then my father's son is him himself. And he is the father of the guest, so the guest is his son. An inmate got sick, and now he has to take pills to keep his illness under control and also not to infect anyone else. He got 3 pills which he has to take every hour. How long will it take him to take all the pills? It'll only take him 2 hours. One he will take immediately, another one after 1 hour, and the last one after 2 hours. An inmate escaped from prison. His best friend was waiting for him in a car, so the prisoner hopped in and they drove away. The police are now chasing them. This is the car with the prisoner, and these 2 cars are identical. Watch the car with the prisoner carefully. Which car is the escapee in? It's the one on the left. Okay, now it's going to be even harder. Watch the car again. They'll go faster. Which one is it? If you said this one, then you're right. Okay, one last time. And will you catch the prisoner? Watch the cars carefully. Which one is it? It's this one, correct! Congratulations, you caught the prisoner! Another prisoner escaped, and police tracked him back to a recreational hotel complex in a forest in the suburbs. A detective entered a sauna he had seen the prisoner sneaking in a minute ago. There were 4 men sitting there. They said they were friends and had been sitting in the sauna for around 10 minutes and hadn't seen anyone else entering. Which one is the prisoner? It must be this guy. Look, everyone is wet and sweaty, and he's not sweating at all. He must have just entered. Another day, another prisoner managed to escape. This time, the police were sure that the prisoner was somewhere in the zoo located not far away from the prison. They entered and went up to one of the zoo's caretakers, asking if he had seen a prisoner there.
No, sir, I guarantee that no prisoners entered this area,
said the caretaker. It was suspicious. Why was he so sure about that? All right, thank you for your assistance. By the way, why is this cage empty?
Oh, I'm cleaning it. The zebras were relocated for a while.
The police arrested him as a prisoner. Why? The sign on the cage says that it's the cage with camels. If he was a real caretaker, he would know this. Now, I'll be showing you several houses, and your task is to determine in which house a criminal lives. For example, look at these two. Which room belongs to a criminal? This one. Look, there's a black mask on the chair. What about these two houses? Do you see something suspicious? There are orange overalls in the wardrobe. They must belong to a prisoner. Another one for you. Can you see any signs of a prisoner? Look, there's a huge bag with money hidden. This is the place. There are 4 prisoners who get a chance to get out sooner if they solve a riddle. There are 4 hats, 2 black ones and 2 white ones, and everyone is aware of that. They stand like this. The first prisoner is in the front and can't see anyone. The second prisoner can only see the first one. The third prisoner can see both. Behind a wall, there's the fourth prisoner, who can't see anyone. Each one of them got a hat. None of them knows the color of their hat. They can only see others as described. Any one of them can make a guess regarding the color of their own hat. One attempt for all of them. But if the person gets it right, all 4 of them will get out. How can they do it? The third prisoner can see 2 hats in front of him. If they're the same color, then he knows his own hat is the other color. But if there are 2 different hat colors in front of him, then he can't be sure. In this case, he'll stay silent. Then, the second prisoner understands that they have hats of different colors. He can see the hat color of the first prisoner, so he will call out that his own has the other color. Several birds landed on trees, 1 bird for 1 tree. But in this case, one of them didn't have a tree of its own. Then they regrouped, with 2 birds sitting on 1 tree. After this, 1 tree was left. How many birds and trees are there? There are 4 birds and 3 trees. Look at these 4 people in a grocery store. Can you figure out who's going to steal a watermelon? It's the man with a soccer ball. It seems as if he's holding something heavy. It must be the watermelon disguised as a soccer ball. You wake up and find yourself in a locked room without windows and only 1 door. You look around and notice a table. There's a piece of paper, a knife, and several inflated balloons lying on it. You pick up the note. It reads, "To get out of here, you must puncture a balloon with a knife. But if the balloon bursts, you'll stay here forever." What should you do to make a hidden door open in one of the walls? You should deflate one of the balloons. After that, you can easily puncture it with a knife. You're walking along the beach and spot an expensive-looking watch in the sand. There are only 3 other people on the beach. Who does the watch belong to? This guy's watch is in his pocket. The tan line on this girl's wrist doesn't match the shape of the watch. The watch must belong to this elderly lady. You've got a sack filled with coffee beans. You need to use this coffee to completely fill 2 other sacks of the same size. How do you do it? Put one empty sack into the other and fill them with coffee. 3 young men came to a coffee shop to prepare for their final exam. A waiter came up to them and asked,
Does everyone want coffee?
The first guy said, "I don't know." The second man answered, "Nah, I don't know." And the third one answered, "Yes." Can you figure out what the first 2 guys ordered? All young men ordered coffee. Each of them wanted to have this drink, but the first 2 couldn't know if it would be everyone's choice. If the first 2 guys hadn't wanted coffee, they'd have simply said no. So when the third guy heard his friend's replies, he figured out that both of them wanted coffee. And since he was going to get a cup, he said yes. You have to think outside the box to crack this one. 1 is to 3 as 3 is to 5, and 5 is to 4. And 4 is the magic number. Can you figure out the pattern? The word 1 has 3 letters. The word 3 has 5. And the word 5 has 4 letters. But the word 4 has 4 letters in it. And whatever number you try, eventually you'll come back to 4, and the game will end there. Vincent got locked in a room with no windows and only one massive door. There's a panel with several buttons on the left and another one with a hint on it on the right. There's also a clock on the wall above the door. Which button should Vincent press to get out of the trap? The green triangle. The numbers on the panel represent hours. If you connect them on the clock face, you'll get a triangle. Add this number to the same one and multiply the result by 4. Then divide it by 8 and you'll have the very first number again. What number is it? It can be any number. You can try it out to make sure. Look at these women attentively. Which one seems to be suspicious? It's the one on the right. The woman on the left was just adding some ketchup to her dish. See that bottle? But look at the pie the woman on the right is holding. There's a smartphone peeking out of the pie. What's it doing there? It's very suspicious. The police knocked on Michael's door late in the evening. They had a search warrant. They accused the man of stealing a big sum of money from a supermarket. Mike claimed that he hadn't left the house all day, but one of the detectives saw something in his living room, and it led to the man's arrest. What was it? Look at the date on the receipt lying on the table. It's the same as the date on the calendar, which means Michael lied about not leaving his house that day. Look at these guys attentively. Can you tell which one has drawn the graffiti? It's the guy on the left. He has some spray paint on his hoodie. An ant is 2 inches away from its home. With every next step, it covers half the distance to the entrance. How many steps will the insect have to take to reach its destination? The ant will never reach the door because every time it'll travel only half the distance. Now, how about solving some rebus riddles? This is the first one for you. High, 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 high. That's high five. The next one, noon good. What's this? That's how you greet people. Good afternoon. Okay, now try this one. Way, progress. It's progress underway. Now let's check how attentive you are. Try to figure out what's wrong in the following images. There's no way anyone can wear those blue shoes. They're both left ones. How about this one? This horse looks rather natural among kangaroos, but it doesn't belong there. What's wrong in this picture? Why would a barn have a chimney? I suspect something is missing in this picture. Can you figure out what exactly? The bus doesn't have side mirrors and windshield wipers. Detective Lucas was called to investigate an accident. A car crashed into a store window and smashed the glass. There are two suspects. Both of them deny their involvement. Detective Lucas doesn't need much time to figure out who the culprit is. Do you know the answer too? It's the owner of the blue car. The pattern on its tires is the same as in front of the store. Detective Brown was having her morning coffee in a cafe when she heard a car screeching to a halt, then some loud shouting. She ran outside and spotted a man on the ground. His bicycle was lying nearby. There was also a car sitting next to the man. Detective Brown helped the cyclist up. The car driver came up to them. The cyclist exclaimed, "He hit my bike with his car, making me crash." But the driver answered, "I saw him losing control of his bike in the mirror. I left my car to check on him." Detective Brown immediately understood who was lying. Can you figure it out? Strangely, the car doesn't have side mirrors, and all that stuff in the back seat blocks the view of the road, so the driver couldn't have seen anything in his rearview mirror either. He's lying. A man wearing a hat, a bandana covering his face, and dark sunglasses robbed a bank. The police have 3 suspects. Look at them and try to figure out which one is the criminal. Usually, people tie bandanas under their ears. But in this case, the bandana covers the robber's ears. It probably hides something that distinguishes the man from other people. The criminal must be that man with only one ear. When Louisa entered the office, she noticed that her colleague Anna was very upset. It was the beginning of the working day, but someone had already stolen her purse. Only those who worked in the company could get into the office. Louisa questioned her colleagues. Maria, who worked in IT, said she'd been fixing somebody's computer. Jane, the secretary, answered she'd been on the phone with some clients. Andrew, a sales manager, said,
I've just returned from a 3-hour-long meeting. I'm exhausted.
Can you figure out who took the purse? Andrew, the working day's just started. How could he come back from such a long meeting? Detective Smith was called to a house to investigate a burglary.
Mr. Brooke claimed that someone had broken into his place and stolen his expensive watch. When the detective arrived, he saw that the front door was open and there was muddy footprints leading to the living room. He also noticed that there was some mud on the staircase. After looking around the house, Detective Smith quickly figured out who the thief was. He went upstairs and arrested Mr. Brooks' son. Why did he do that? The detective noticed that no footprints were leading out of the house, indicating that the thief was still inside. 4 friends went out for lunch. Take a look at the image and try to guess which person is the richest. It's the one on the right. The first person has a fake iPhone, so they can't be it. Then the one next to them has ripped shoes, which means she can't afford new ones. The third friend has an empty wallet. She's probably going to ask some friend to pay her part of the bill. And the fourth one has multiple black credit cards, which means they're the richest. Freddy went to the castle near his house to return a lost cat. He was greeted by an old man that invited him in. But once he stepped inside, the old man turned into an evil magician that trapped Freddy inside the castle. Then the evil magician said,
"If you manage to complete 3 tasks I give you, I'll let you go home. Otherwise, you'll be stuck here forever. Here's the first task. Help me find my glasses amongst all these vegetables."
"Can you help Freddy?" Here they are, right next to the pumpkin. For the next task, Freddy had to make a potion, and the ingredients should be added in the right order. The magician gave Freddy a piece of paper with the recipe written on it. Can you help Freddy make the potion? You got to follow the colors of the cauldrons. So first of all, you need to add curry, so the potion will turn yellow. Then you add some blueberries, and it will turn green. And finally, add some tomatoes to make the potion look brown. Well done, Freddy! Freddy's third task is to find a book in this messy room. Can you do it? It's sitting right here behind the floor lamp. Congrats, you just helped to free Freddy. Tuesday, Sam and Peter went to a restaurant for dinner. After eating, the bill was paid. But Sam and Peter did not pay the bill. Who paid the bill for them? Their friend, Tuesday. I didn't see that one coming. Atlas woke up in the attic of an abandoned house. He tried to find a way out of the house, but all he could do was find a room with 3 doors. Each door hid a different danger. The windows and floor behind the first door were made entirely of magnifying glass, which meant that the sunlight would probably burn him if he entered. The second door hid a room full of poisonous gases. And behind the third door, there was a hungry lion. What should Atlas do to escape? He should wait until it's nighttime and use the first door. Sydney told her mom that her gymnastics team would go to a sports camp for the weekend. She asked her mom to help her pack for the trip. Her mother packed everything she thought her daughter would need. When Sydney came back from the weekend, she was telling her mother all about the trip. But somewhere during the conversation, she asked her mother why she hadn't packed a toothbrush. The mother immediately knew Sydney was lying about where they had really been that weekend. How? because Sydney's mother did pack a toothbrush, but she put it under Sydney's gymnastics clothes. If Sydney had really gone to that camp, she would have used the clothes and found the toothbrush. Kimberly discovered 3 bags in an old attic along with a note. The note said that there was $1 million inside one of the bags. It also said that the 2 other bags were empty. She only had one chance to figure out which bag had the cash. Kim knew that only one of the messages written on the bags was true. On the first bag, it said, "The cash is not here." On the second bag, it was written, "The cash is not here." The last bag read, "The cash is in the second bag." If you were Kimberly, which bag would you choose? You should choose the first bag. If only one of the clues is true, then the money is in the first bag. Becca had just arrived from a 2-week trip to Egypt. During her trip, she bought a beautiful emerald and wanted to show it to some of her friends. She decided to throw a party just for her closest friends. The next day, she noticed that the emerald was gone. Becca immediately decided to call a detective to help her find the thief. She showed him some of the pictures she had taken the night before. The detective took a quick look and already had a pretty good idea of who had done it. Take a look at these pictures. How did the detective find the culprit? Look at that girl wearing a hat. At 1 a.m., her hat is flat, but at 2 a.m., her hat suddenly turned pointy, weirdly imitating the shape of an emerald. It must have been her. It's a rainy evening, and Dylan is driving back home. He passes through a bus stop where 3 people ask him for a ride. Dylan only has 1 seat in his car to offer, but he really wants to help all of those people. There's an old lady that looks very cold. There's a doctor who claims he needs to get to the hospital for a quick appointment. And a woman that Dylan has a crush on. What's the best arrangement Dylan can make to help everyone? Dylan could lend his car to the doctor so that he could drive the old lady home. Dylan could wait at the bus stop with the girl he has a crush on until the doctor comes back and gives him his car back. Susan found out that her favorite pop band was playing a private concert for VIP clients in a luxurious club. She decided to sneak inside the club through the backyard. But unfortunately, Susan faced a strict guard behind the door. He refused to let her inside without a password. But luckily for her, there was a hint in the guard's t-shirt. The hint was 2, infinity, plus BD. Susan deciphered the hint and was allowed in the concert. Can you guess what the password was? It was to infinity and beyond. One afternoon, Nicole found her father, Frank, in the living room, really worried about an anonymous text he had gotten. Frank was a private investigator, and he had just received a message revealing the address of the town's most dangerous criminal, Dirty Jack. He decided to go check the area, even if he didn't know what the criminal looked like. The address turned out to be an old warehouse, and when he busted inside, he found 4 people sitting at a table playing poker. The 4 people were a carpenter, a truck driver, a mechanic, and a fireman. Without any hesitation or communication, Frank arrested the fireman. How did he know that he was a criminal? The fireman was the only male in the room. The rest of the poker players were women. Bobby and Rachel decided to go grab a cup of coffee. But when their orders arrived, Bobby's coffee came with a fly inside of it. He called the waiter and asked him to change his cup. the waiter brought another cup of coffee. But 2 seconds later, Bobby called the waiter again and said, "Hey, that's the same cup." How did he know? Because Bobby had already put sugar in his coffee, and when he tasted the liquid inside the new cup, it already had sugar inside. Both Harry and Terry's girlfriends went away on a business trip for the weekend. During the whole time, the couples were texting and sending each other pictures. On Sunday morning, the girls asked their boyfriends to send them their selfies. Harry sent a selfie where he was smiling in the kitchen. Terry sent a selfie of himself in the bathroom. One of the girlfriends knew immediately that her boyfriend was cheating. Who was it, and how did the girlfriend know? It was Harry. Look at that lipstick mark on the glass on top of the kitchen counter. Becca and Tom are a couple. One of them rented a scooter from Brown Scooters and now needs to pay for the ride. A worker from the scooter company comes to charge the couple $15 that they owe. Becca and Tom start arguing over who should pay for the scooter. Becca says that Tom was the one who wrote it, so he should pay for it. But Tom says that it was Becca who wrote it, and she should pay for it. Who is lying? Becca is lying. Take a look at Becca's footprints. They lead directly to the scooter. There were 3 thefts at a local supermarket. One in February, one in May, and one in July. Thankfully, the security camera recorded the footage of those 3 days. The store manager called Detective Moore, asking to solve the crime. The detective took a close look at the footage and noticed one detail that helped him solve the mystery. Take a look at the images and try to figure out who the thief is. In all 3 videos, there is a pregnant lady. In the video from February, she looks about 7 months pregnant. But in the other videos, from May and July, her belly looks exactly the same. This means that she is the thief. She must have been faking her pregnancy all along. Dr. O'Brien invented the time machine and traveled all the way back to prehistoric times. Take a look at this picture and see if you can spot Dr. O'Brien amongst other prehistoric people carrying out their activities. That's easy. It's the guy with the flashlight. He must have taken one with him when he set off on his journey. Katie was running late for class. When she finally arrived at the classroom, she accidentally dropped the pile of textbooks she was holding. It produced a loud thump, making the entire classroom stare at her. At that moment, Katie drew the attention of 20 eyes. How many people were in the classroom that day? There were 11 people. 10 people have a pair of eyes each, right? Add Katie to the equation. That makes a total of 11 people in the room. Police officer Dave received a call late at night. A famous chemist went missing from his lab. After searching the lab thoroughly, Dave found a note with ransom numbers scribbled on it. The note read 26 3 58, 28 27 57 16. Based on the note, Dave managed to find the scientist and arrest the criminals who had taken him. What was written in the encrypted note, and how did Dave understand it? The chemist is smart. Each number in the note corresponds to an element in the periodic table. So the element that corresponds to 26 is Fe, iron. Number 3 is Li, lithium. And 58 is Ce, cerium. If you use this logic, you can figure out that the first line spells Felice, and the numbers in the second line stand for Nicholas. After figuring out the names, Dave tracked the men down and arrested them. Helena finally got herself a new guitar. She wanted to play it right away, but she had to go to school. She locked the instrument inside her room and left. When she got home in the evening, the guitar was gone. She knew it must have been one of her family members, as they always played pranks on one another. So she questioned each one of them. Helena's mother said she hadn't even seen the guitar the girl had bought. Her dad said that he had seen it when he passed by Helena's room, but he swore he hadn't done anything to it. Helena's brother said he hadn't gone upstairs the whole day, so he hadn't seen the guitar either. Helena solved the mystery instantly. Can you figure it out? Her dad was lying. He said he'd seen the guitar when passing by the girl's room, but that's impossible. Helena locked the door when she left. A bank was robbed by masked strangers. One of the robbers asked the teller to give them all the money hidden in the bank safe. But suddenly, the teller's phone rang. It was his mother. The robber told the guy to pick up the phone to avoid arousing suspicion. On the phone, the teller asked, "Is there an emergency, Mother? Call me when you get home and I'll help you with the dinner." Then he hung up. 5 minutes later, while the robbers were still in the bank, the police arrived at the crime scene. How did the police know about the robbery? The teller was smart. While he was speaking on the phone with his mother, he pressed the mute button while he was saying some of the words. So what his mother heard on the other end of the line was, "Emergency, Mother, call help." On the outskirts of a town, there was a haunted house. A group of friends decided to check it out. They went there at night, but as soon as they got there, one of the friends refused to go inside and tried to stop the others. But they just laughed and left him behind. There were terrible crashing sounds coming from the house, and then everything went still. John never saw his friends again. How did John understand that there was something seriously wrong with the house? John was very attentive. He noticed that there was lots of footprints leading towards the house, but none going away. A famous hotel has 7 floors. 5 people are staying on the first floor. 8 people are staying on the second floor. 11 people are staying on the third floor, and so on. Each next floor has 3 more people living there than the previous one. Which floor calls the elevator most often? The first floor. Any person staying on a floor other than the first has to call the elevator to reach their destination. In a small town, 3 teachers asked for sick leave on the same day. Janet said she had got into a car accident and broke her leg. Now she was having difficulty walking with the cast and all. Emma complained she'd had a very unfortunate workout and injured her neck. She couldn't even turn her head. And Tina said that she'd fallen from her bike and hurt her arm. One of the teachers is lying. Can you tell who? It's Janet. She claims she's having difficulty walking with the cast, but she doesn't even have crutches. You wake up and find yourself trapped in a room with 4 doors in front of you. You hear a monster coming, so you check the door quickly. The leftmost door has a sign on it saying, "Take the door on the right to break free." The second door also has a sign saying, "It's the right door." The third door has a sign, "Freedom is just right in front of you." And the last door has a sign saying, "Don't trust the signs." Which door should you choose? Well, there's a little bit of wordplay here. Let's see why. The first door says to take the door on the right. The second one says it's the right door. Not the correct door, but the door on the right. The third door says, freedom is just right in front of you. That just doesn't make any sense, does it? You can interpret this statement as pointing at the door just on your right. Well, that's it. It's the last door. It does tell you not to trust the other signs, but it doesn't tell you that they're false, does it?